We in the building. Special edition.
You already know. Fuck Your Feelings podcast.
Fuck your feelings, fuck my feelings, fuck his feelings.
Yes, sir.
Like, this shit is raw, fellas. We do this shit for us. Like, this shit is for us from the fans' perspective. Fuck all them people who study this shit. I just watch this shit. Understand that? I just watch this shit. I'm a nigga who smoke blunts and watch sports. So that's where we coming from at Fuck Your Feelings, yo. This ain't about who we like. This ain't about who you like, what's popular. This about what I see. And I'm going to talk from that perspective, fellas. So, with the Super Bowl being set, with what they calling the greatest quarterback of all time versus what they calling the future of the quarterback position for the next 20 years, and probably the guy who going to push Tom for being the GOAT in a matchup. And we've been both going back and forth since we started the day. I've been listening to it since Sunday when Tom Brady put himself in a position to be playing for Super Bowl number 10. There's a bunch of Tom Brady not being a GOAT conversation going around. And it's definitely debatable, it's debatable because people talk about it. Because I don't think it's debatable.
I think this right here makes it undebatable.
I think when he came back against Atlanta, that shit was over with. Like, people talked so much about the defense. Well, he had a game where the defense sold him short. He was down fucking 27, 28 points. And it was the offense. I mean, and don't get it wrong, because I was highly up on him when he beat Seattle. Like, if you go back and watch that game where he beat Seattle, he fucking utilized every mismatch. He dominated the fact, love you, Cam. I know you come from here, but he dominated Cam Chancellor in pass coverage. Y'all gonna play man-to-man. We're gonna make him cover good ground. And he can't. Like, Cam was a run stopper. And, like, so he been the GOAT to me for the past 6, 7, 8 years. And you hear people talk about Deflategate and Spygate. First of all, for me, with Spygate, I don't give a fuck about it. Because all the teams was doing it, they was just the first team to get caught.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck about that. I might give you Deflategate if you'll give me Bountygate. Like, nobody talk about Bountygate when it come to Drew Brees. Nobody talk about the fact that Brett Favre was addicted to painkillers. Like, nobody talk about nothing negative to nobody else but Tom Brady, which to me further showed that he the GOAT. Because you got to find something to nitpick at. Yeah. So, but
I mean, I'm not a Tom Brady fan at all.
Fuck no, Eagles forever. So
one in my division, they put on our neck. So but I can't ignore the fact that man is great. You can't take away from that. You can't. I'm not gonna make a statement about the greatness over emotion.
No, and that's one of the things. Biased. That's one of the things I don't think people get. Like I don't like talking to people who do conversation about who you like and you don't like him, so he can't be good. Like, that's stupid. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, as a pure fan, like, me personally, I'm a fan of the sport before I'm a fan of any of my teams. Right. Like, I'm an Eagles fan, I'm a Pistons fan, I'm a Floyd Mayweather fan, whatever we talking about, I'm a fan of the sport before I'm a fan of my guy or the team. So I will never, like Gary Payton, my guy, I never go Gary Payton, the greatest basketball player of all time. Because I personally feel like I would be disrespecting basketball, not no particular player, but basketball itself.
When you make certain comments like that, man, it kind of takes away from your credibility. Like, I mean, to say something as absurd as some of the stuff people say, man, is crazy.
Now, one guy, and you know Maurice Higgs, my brother. Maurice is a die-hard San Francisco fan. Uh-huh. For the last 3 days, all I heard is there's no way that you can consider Tom Brady better than Joe Montana. He said Joe Montana was more talented. Joe Montana was 4-0. Yeah, I'm going to shout you out, Reese. He was more talented. He was 4-0 in the Super Bowl. And this is what he said. Tom Brady in 10 Super Bowls, 8 of those Super Bowls, Tom Brady wasn't the best quarterback on the field. Or the most talented quarterback on the field.
This is what you should have asked him. You should have asked him this. How many of those Super Bowls was San Francisco the favorite?
All of them.
How many of the Super Bowls was Tom Brady the favorite?
Probably like
about
3.
half.
Yeah.
Not even half.
No, probably half because the 2 they lost to the Giants and the Eagles. The 3 they lost, they was favored. Yeah. And they was probably favored against Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Probably half.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And Tom Brady ain't never played with Jerry Rice. Like, stop. Like, people, and this is, I don't want to knock Joe.
Or Roger Craig.
I don't want to knock Joe. I don't want to knock Joe. And I understand, because he made this point, and I'm going to give him his props, that Joe won one before Jerry got there with Dwight Clark and them. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But Joe left, traded. He didn't want to leave, but they were ready to move in the direction of Steve Young. Steve Young took that same team that Joe won 3 with and went and got him 1 too.
Yeah.
So it ain't, I don't know if you, because we just watched now in the defense of the Patriots and Belichick, because I'm fair. Half their team had
COVID issues.
Opted out for COVID and shit. Yeah. Cam had COVID and shit. But the first year we ain't seen Belichick in the playoffs since Tom Brady was hurt was the year he made Tom Brady leave. Everybody, man, I sat in the break room at the job when I was working, and then people told me I was crazy for saying Tom Brady was going to be in the NFC Championship game.
I called that before the season.
The day he signed with Tampa Bay, I said he at least going to the playoffs. And if I'm a betting man, what about Tom Brady show you that he not going to be in the championship game?
This is how I broke it down to people when I say Tom Brady and them was going to Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. I said, look at their record before Tom Brady came. Look at how close those games was. Woof, Winston throwing 30 picks. 30 picks, and you still was in every game?
Famous James.
You threw 30 picks.
And you still, no. And what Tom Brady ain't going to do, with the exception to the NFC Championship game, he was out there tricking. I
said all he had to do was, he could throw 14.
No, first of all, let me say this, because, like, it's people who talk about the talent of the Aaron Rodgers and the Dan Marinos and the Peyton Mannings and the arm talent that they have. Let me say this so people understand that I understand what I'm looking at. To me, Tom Brady is nothing but a glorified game manager.
Yeah.
He don't make mistakes. He don't try to make tough throws until he has to.
Yeah.
But when he has to, he makes them. So I don't know if he can't make them. He just understand that football is a 3-person sport and 1 person, Tom Brady, the quarterback position, can't win it by itself. So when it ain't there, don't take it. Rely on your defense. Rely on your special teams. It's a reason why everybody in sports getting paid. And we knock Tom Brady for being a guy who, oh my God, he don't wow you with throws. Well, he don't have to if he up 14 points.
Yeah, I think that's what some people get it confused at. And I can kind of see where they're coming from. See, it's hard for a person to digest Tom Brady being the greatest quarterback when you out there watching him throw the ball and you like, man, such and such arm is better than his.
And he got drafted in the 6th round and all these niggas come in the first 10 picks.
It's hard for them to see. They got to find something else to, another reason for why, he's so successful. But, I mean, to be honest with you, man, he's the greatest quarterback. That's what makes him greater is because he don't have one of the livest arms. Or the most arm talent.
And he find a way to get it done week in and week out. Like and like I like to give credit where it's due, and I believe that coming into the league, he went to the perfect place. Because Belichick,
that matters.
Belichick is gonna put you in a position and show you what preparation and like literally not being able to take one play off. You can't give me half-ass one play or you might not play no more. We've seen Belichick, that Stephen Ridley kid, I talk about him all the time too, as an example. Super talented. The kid keep fumbling the ball. He might have a game 1 week where he got 230 yards. The next week, fumble the first carry, and he don't play for 4 goddamn weeks. Because you ain't going to be out here hurting this team, bro. That's not what we do. We put our, and I think, like going to New England and the way New England carried their organization, I think he was the perfect guy to be the front runner for that, too. Because, like, coming from somebody who had to fight to earn a position to even get on the field in college, like, it's easy for your head coach to scream on him because he done been hearing it forever. And that's another thing with that 4 years in college thing, but we ain't going to go back to that. But you see a lot of these guys who come out and they the number 1 pick, the number 10 pick, the number 12 pick, and they like it's all about potential. Oh my God, he could potentially be this, but you put so much on him so early. Like Russell Wilson didn't have that expectation because he came out on the third round. Like they actually was getting him and wanted like they didn't think he was better than Travaris Jackson.
You know what, man? I don't know, man. I don't even understand how anybody that watched him play didn't think he was a first round draft.
Who, Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
I do. And I'm going to tell you, want me to tell you what? Well, you know why. Stop, man. That man is dark skinned with curly hair. Like, we don't know if he black or white.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, fuck.
I'm talking about.
This fuck your feelings, yo. We just say what's real, yo. We just say what's real. Like, fuck. I watched him at NC State and Wisconsin. I watched him beat, I want to say that was Florida State by his goddamn self. When Florida State was the powerhouse in the ACC.
His color had something to do with it and where he was playing at.
And also, and they also talk about his size, but I don't understand why when they was letting Drew Brees sling the ball all over the goddamn place, they the same height. Like, stop. Like, I think it's and understand that I'm fair all the way around the board. I don't understand how Doug Flutie ain't get a real shot till after he was 12 years old.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, that man was a monster in fucking college, yo.
Yeah.
He too short?
What he did at his age when he finally came, let you know what he would have been able to do younger.
But that's just like the disrespect that they played to Warren Moon. He had to go over Canada some goddamn way to show.
When he came back, when he got to the league, he was about 30. He was in his 30s and still in the record book.
And you see, like, no, now, when it comes to the color of quarterbacks, that's a whole different story. Because you tell me what weapons Lamar Jackson got. You tell me what weapons they give Cam Newton. You tell me what weapons Vic had other than when he first got to Philadelphia. Like, and that was, he inherited that shit. They didn't have them weapons for him. Yeah. He inherited that shit. When it comes to African-American quarterbacks, even down to Russell Wilson, like, they struck with with Metcalf.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf. They struck, and really they struck because everybody else passed on him. Yeah. Like, he wasn't even supposed to have been there that long. So they kind of struck with that. And it was almost like, oh, shit. Now we really going to show him we don't fuck with him if we don't get this shit because he fell in our lap.
Yeah, right there.
You know what I mean? Like,
you can't pass on him at that spot.
Like,
that's a blatant.
Like, you look at black quarterback, like, this shit is sad to me. But I just saw something that I don't know if it's true. And I'm not the biggest Dak fan, but Dak has earned a starting job in Dallas.
Yeah.
Period. I just heard that Dallas, goddammit, putting a package together to send either Cooper or Gallup to Detroit and trying to get Matthew Stafford. For fucking what? Because if Dak healthy, that's Dak's job, right?
Wow.
Or is Dak African? Like, he ain't really African American, but he close enough. Goddamn it.
It may be possible that.
No, he did it.
It may be a little bit of that, but it may be possible that they already agreed to go their separate ways, though. Because a lot of times they're not going to say that because if somebody come talking to them, it'll also mess up the trade value. You know what I'm saying? So
that's possible. But what I'm saying is I don't know why you would be looking for another quarterback anyway, period. Like, Dak was never...
At this point, you got to consider it now because of the injury.
Okay,
I get what I'm saying? You have to.
I give you that.
But it's fucked. The fucked up part is,
but his
before the injury, they was already treating him like a, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, because he, like, and I think Dak hurt himself too. Because... Yeah. Fuck, bro, what's the difference? Like, if you come from nothing, yo, what's the difference between $33 million and $42 million?
I mean, he was trying to make a point because...
I get the point. But
why can't I get paid what...
Why not me?
Yeah, why not me?
Because...
And it's unfortunate that he got an injury.
The people who was getting the bag was people who, like, for as much as I don't think he deserved it, like, please understand, like, you cannot take away from the fact that like, Carson Wentz didn't play the last 4 games that season and still finished third in the MVP. Like, he would have been unequivocally, he was breaking every third down record, every red zone record known to quarterbacks. He was going to be unequivocally, he might have been unanimous.
His body of work still don't match that.
No, and that's what I mean. Like, I don't think we should have gave it to him.
Nah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
not that much.
I don't really give nobody super credit off 1 year. And we're giving Carson that money was off that 12 games?
Yeah. Won't even a full year.
I don't know about that. Dak has shown. Now, I don't believe that Dak was Dallas's problem. When they got rid of Jason Garrett, it looked different early in the season. Even though they was always playing from behind. When it seemed like they had just about caught, and everybody got to pass this year with that COVID shit. Basketball, football, to me. Like, I'm just enjoying watching sports. I don't give a fuck who winning, who playing, because I'm just enjoying watching sports, because we went like 7 months without them shits. But
yeah, I feel like we had a hell of a football season considering what the hell we were going through.
And because of that, I believe like Dak deserved, like if he healthy at the beginning of next year, he deserve a chance to prove he's still worth the contract. But fuck, man, who are we? We just the fans. Like, we don't know what go on inside them goddamn GM and honestly, I don't care to know, cause I just want a product on the field to watch, bro. Like, I don't really care to know. I'm part of the reason I like watching New England. Part of the reason I like watching Golden State is those are organizations to me that only care about one thing, and that's winning. Yeah. Like when New England, I was so mad when New England got rid of Randy Moss the way they did until I really sat back and listened and paid attention to it. And what they saying is, we in the business of winning Super Bowls around here. You do anything that hurt us from being in the business of winning Super Bowls, we got to get you the fuck out of here and get focused on winning Super Bowls. We don't give a fuck about how good you are, how much people like you. They did this shit to Tom Brady because they thought he was done. They did it to Tom Brady. And when you really think about it, you got to respect the organization like that. You fuck up in New England, you out of here, period.
I mean, the Tom Brady Belichick check, I saw both sides of that. I understood why Brady felt some type of way because he took that pay cut every year, year after year after year. So I'd have felt slighted. I understood where Belichick came from the standpoint, man, how long can he really? He can't no longer take over a game by his, anymore.
I get
so we got to start looking for, you know what I'm saying? So I saw both sides of it. I don't feel like it's sad that they are where they at, like, because they had something great.
Yeah, they supposed to. I thought they would have stayed together, but by the same token, Joe Montana got traded, who to me was the greatest quarterback of all time before Tom Brady.
But Tom Brady played a part in that because
no, I know he did.
They say he was a little. He didn't like Jimmy G breathing down his back.
No, it won't necessarily breathing down his back. He knew, like, he wanted to stay in New England. So he went to the owner trying to find out, like, these people trying to push me out the door or what? Because I'm going to be, like, he been saying he was going to play till he was 45. Or try to play till he was 45. And New England, like, he said, like, he wanted to stay with New England, but you could tell, like, New England didn't want to trade Jacoby Brissett. But they did because the situation was perfect. Like, we can get more value than Jacoby Brissett is worth.
Yeah.
So we have to. With the Jimmy G move, it was simply they traded him so Tom Brady could feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I mean by breathing out. Yeah,
and that's what made and that's what made Belichick say, "Oh well, shit, we moving on."
And I think that's what pissed Bill Belichick off because he like, yo, it's about the team. Like, be a team player, man. If he steps up and he becomes, because at one point in time, Tom Brady did that to Drew Bledsoe. He was that guy that pushed him out the door.
I'm
so you got, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna be honest. I thought they did Drew Bledsoe wrong at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So you understand?
No, I get it. No, I get it.
But it's the same thing.
Because I don't believe nobody should lose their job because of injury unless they can't play no more.
Right.
And Drew Bledsoe got hurt. And when he came back,
when Tom Brady got hurt and he had to step in, he still showed that he could play.
And they pushed him out. And I thought it was wrong. I was wrong. Goddamn it, because Tom Brady.
But you know what that was? That was more about.
Yeah, that too.
That was more about money. We're gonna go the cheaper route, which was genius by Belichick in a sense, because it allowed him to be able to pay other players. You know what I'm saying? By letting Bledsoe go, because he'd have had to pay a premium for Bledsoe.
Yeah, and so okay,
we played Tom Brady small salary, we can put money here on the offensive line,
and that's why Tom felt slighted by New England because I always took less money.
Yeah,
it was always about
his whole career
and keep the defense. Like people always go, he had these crazy defenses. Well, part of that was because of him because he didn't chase money, so you could keep going to get the Ty Laws and the Darrell Reeves. You can go get them people.
Yeah,
and Stephon Gilmore's because I ain't gonna take a lot of money up. And when it's my time, and so I'm gonna eat by playing longer, and y'all ain't gonna let me eat that way. We got an issue. So again, to me, like one of the worst things in sports is free agency. Like it's hard to, like you have to be a true fan of your team and not be a fan of guys because, like, I'm a fan of guys and my team. My Detroit Pistons, one of the worst things on TV to watch, period. That shit is just as bad as Love and Hip Hop right now. I swear to God, I hate that shit. But I ain't gonna turn my back on them. But all my favorite players in the league play for other teams. I still watch. Fuck, I've been with KD since he came in because of the way they knocked him because he couldn't lift 185 pounds. Like, who give a fuck? That man can shoot. So wait a minute. He not the number one pick. Because he can't lift 185 pounds. Do you watch the ball weigh like 8 ounces?
Yeah,
what the fuck that got to do with it, man? He shoot the ball from wherever he want to.
But you know, the league was still a tad bit physical at that time.
I mean,
nowhere near like it was. You know.
I mean, but either way, like Kevin Durant has the ability. You can be physical as you want to, bitch. I shoot this bitch from half court.
Yeah.
Like you can't beat me up right here. I can shoot it. Shoot.
He's not a block. He's a wing player.
No, and that's no.
I didn't understand that either. I guess they was looking at his height and
like he got to play power. He gonna end up a power forward. No, and that's like kind of like it's a lot of players that in the early '90s. I thought they tried to pigeonhole and make. He told like Darius Miles should have never been trying to play nothing but a 2 guard. That man weighed 17 pounds. Y'all keep trying to make that man go in and paint these big man.
That messed a lot of people's careers up. Odom.
Yeah. And I thought Odom when he got with Kobe and he didn't have to be the number 2 guy. Once they got Gasol and he was more of a guy who every night we don't know what they expect from him.
Man. No. He could play. He could play in the paint, but he can also he was able to do so many things. Why put him in the box? You don't put a player in the box.
He was the first Draymond Green.
Yeah. Way more skill to me.
No, way more. Draymond just got more. Lamar Odom came off the bench. Draymond was a starter. So he going to get more recognition because it's almost like and Lamar Odom was one of the biggest slights ever because he should have been 6th man of the year like 3 years in a row. But because of injuries to either Bynum or Gasol, he had
to get into the line.
Yeah, he had to start. Like I think it's like you can't start more than 20 games, and he had to start like 30 games a year. Like and that like he was averaging a double coming off the bench every year, and winning the championship. Going to the championship. So like that shit was crazy. And to see
he definitely was the best 6th man for a minute.
Hell yeah,
without even winning an award.
Yeah, no, easily and easily too, like easily. He couldn't do nothing with it.
I'm gonna give you another big man. 7-footer that message because he played at the wrong era. Ralph Sampson.
Yeah, that too. I don't know if it was just because he played in the wrong era. Like no. Like he never.
He was not a banger.
No, but
and 7 foot back then, you bang or you was disrespected.
And he also what hurt him in the league too was Olajuwon came right after him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They could have played. He had a shot.
No.
That man mid-range game was ridiculous.
He could have been the first stretch 4 in real. No, Bird was still the best stretch 4. I don't want to talk about that.
No, Bird was really a 3. You gotta think McHale and
McHale came off the bench for 5 years though, bro. Like Bird was the 4. Well, okay, Bird was the small. Still, Bird the best shooter of all time. Like people keep talking.
He should have been the first stretch 4. One of such things like back then.
Ralph Sampson?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because he was before Tom Chambers. Yeah, he was before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They didn't let him play how he wanted to play.
No, it was because back then it was so fucking structured and ugly. And if a team scored 100 points,
if they would have utilized him in that way, man, they probably would have dominated.
And they could have
used. They would have dominated.
And they could have used Olajuwon like that too. That bitch had a jump shot and handles and shit. Yeah, hell yeah.
Damn, man.
So do you really
versus big men?
So
on
do
that
you really
squad,
think?
Man.
Do you really think Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time?
It's a tough one. It's hard to say because the league is different. Like, people wasn't shooting as much. I believe it's a couple shooters. I believe if they shot as much as him, to me, John Stockton probably could have put up the same type of numbers.
I don't know about that.
That's goofy. I mean, just look at his numbers.
That's goofy though.
What's his free throw? What was his free throw percentage?
I don't know. But he.
So how can you take his numbers is about the same. He just didn't shoot that much.
Now, his style of play, like John Stockton got.
We talking about shooting.
No. I know.
Okay.
John Stockton's style of play, he wouldn't have got the open shots that Steph get. He wouldn't have got the
amount.
What are we talking about? The amount.
What are we talking about? What was the question?
Do you think he is the best shooter of all time?
You said shooter. You ain't talking about FC.
No.
Bringing a lot of other things.
Okay, so if we're doing that, then we can't say if he would have. We only can talk about what has happened.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and I'm going off shooting percentage wise and all of that. Uh-huh. He's right there. It's just that he wasn't a volume shooter at all. He wasn't He didn't shoot much. He was very efficient.
Okay.
The man, he's the name a point guard with a higher field goal percentage than him.
Oh shit, man! We don't have. We
talking about shooting. Hold on.
We
talking about shooting.
Wait a minute.
How do you define shooting?
No. Stop. Give me a second. Because people need to know this shit. We don't have no goddamn statisticians telling us who shoot what percentage and shit. And I ain't about to Google this shit.
I know. I can tell you.
So
he over 50%.
For what?
Field goal percentage.
All time? 54.
Yeah.
So he a 50-40-90 nigga. Every year in his career. Because Steph been 50-40-90.
And his free throws always was in the 90s.
No, so he 50-40-90. He shot 40% from the 3-point line?
Pull it up.
Because I know Steph a 50-40-90 nigga like 4 years. And I ain't even saying Steph, because I think Bird the best shooter of all time. Fuck that shit y'all talking. That man played the whole game left-handed, shooting jumpers and all that, had 61 goddamn points. What the fuck are we talking about? He can shoot with both hands.
I'm not.
Bird shot that bitch with both hands, and he could shoot it in the post with the fadeaway. He could fucking shoot it off the run. He could catch and shoot. He could shoot when we talk about shooting, he shot that bitch over the backboard. And he could tell you, fuck that, I'm going to shoot the game winner from right here and knock that bitch down. I don't know if Steph is that good.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Ain't no partial to Bird.
To give him the greatest shooter of all time, it depends on how you're looking at it. Are you looking at it from a analytical standpoint, like percentage wise, or are you looking at it for volume? I mean, if you're looking at it from volume.
Well, you gonna be the analytical nigga on this goddamn show, because I'm the fan nigga. I'm just talking about what I see. And what I see was.
The eye test tell me it's between him and Bird. Yeah, that's what my eye test tell me.
No, easily. Like, you know I don't like that Reggie Miller shit.
To say which one, I don't know, man. Because when I watch Bird, it's only a couple players I watch, and when it seemed like every time they shot it went in. It's only a couple people, and to me it was Steph and Bird. Like when they shoot, I'm like,
when Clay get hot too, but Clay go through like ups and downs. Like he'll have a 6-game stretch where he 2 for 9 and then 4 for 13 and then he'll have a fucking 3-game stretch where he made 30 of his last 39 of them motherfuckers. So I don't think we give Bird as much credit as he deserved. Like people forgot because of whatever. Like and like people forgot that like. Taking 3-point shots in a game was a lot in the 80s. And if you want wide open, shooting that motherfucker, nobody shot the step back 3 and goddamn it, a 3-pointer on a fast break, nigga, you might not never play again in that NBA. Mm-hmm. So Steph got the range to shoot more, the green light to shoot more. But I truly believe, I think if you walk them in the gym and said the first nigga to 100 jumpers win, I think Bird might smoke his ass.
Man, listen, I'm gonna give you his stats 1 year.
John Stockton.
Yeah. This is just 1 year. 54% field goal percentage. Mm-hmm. 44%. 44.9, so basically 45. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then his
free throw was
like 93.
That year it was 84%.
Oh well, that ain't bad either though.
That's more than not bad. That's
84 for a fucking point guard. 84 is not elite. 84,
no, not elite.
But it's
no. I'm saying overall.
Absolutely. No. I don't take nothing from Stockton. I just don't think
people take away from his shooting because he wasn't a big scorer.
Well, me and my son,
but he is very few people that was more efficient than him. I can't name a point guard that was more efficient.
No, I'll agree. But me and my son had a conversation today, and I was like, man, if Los would have heard this shit, he would have started laughing. Because he was talking.
He was doing 14, 15, 13 assists a game with those type of numbers.
Yeah.
That's efficient.
No, absolutely. No, he is the best assist man of all time.
That's flawless basketball.
I don't know about flawless.
I mean,
you a Utah fan?
No.
Oh. Who the hell is
I'm a Stockton fan.
No, you a Utah fan. You used to be a Utah fan.
Utah fan.
Junior was a Utah fan too, that corny ass shit. He liked Darren Williams.
No, I liked it because it was fundamental basketball.
No,
like for real, he didn't. That's what made me like him though. He didn't because
he don't make a lot of mistakes.
He didn't make mistakes.
No, I never take away from Stockton.
I thought he played dirty. That mold.
I thought he played
push
dirty.
him around a little bit.
No,
he won't.
He was a tough dude. Yeah. He played dirty a little bit too. He played dirty.
Who didn't play dirty back then?
Yeah. Thank you. Let's get on this. So fuck it. Let's jump subjects right quick.
That's some bullshit to say. I mean,
let's jump subjects right quick.
How can you not play? When did the Bulls start winning championships? When they started playing dirty? When they started being physical?
No, listen. I'm glad you said it because I want to put something into perspective. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. Bad boys for life. You heard me.
Okay.
But I hate the fact that people make it seem like, well, they was just gangsters on the court and they wouldn't have won like that. If you go back, we started playing like that.
Yeah, that shit, the Portland Trailblazers was doing the same shit.
We started playing like
Buck
that.
Williams and them, same shit.
We started playing like them Lakers and Celtics teams that was winning all the championships in the fucking 80s.
Them niggas had some...
They played just like that.
They had some gorillas.
No, that's what I mean. No, it just so happens that they had enough white people that we'll act like they not the animals.
Yeah.
Then this team, like Detroit, think about what Detroit, the city is.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Then you take this team up, and if you really think about it, with exception to Joe Dumas, everybody was like a throwaway guy or a guy we didn't like. They didn't like Isaiah at Indiana. John Sally came in and was too smooth. James Edwards, Bill ain't Bill. Like, no. So it's easy to throw the bad guy mantra on them because we don't like these niggas anyway. And then we helped because we embraced the shit.
Yeah.
But at the
that's what it was.
But at the end of the day, if you go back and watch, we literally because fuck, I don't get into that. But the Pistons really started playing like that because it was the only way we was going to beat the Lakers or the Celtics because that's how they was beating us.
Yeah.
But the bad boys, and then Jordan say, I think they out here trying to hurt people. Go watch some of them goddamn layups that Kurt Rambis trying to make, and goddamn Dennis Johnson come clothesline that man and shit. Man, them people was trying to hurt people in real life.
No, basketball back then was a gladiator sport to a certain extent.
No, it was. Like, there were no layups. Like,